Hello friends, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel Football Therapy with me, your host Jan for the post-match presser. Welcome back to the press room, the post-match presser, to talk about Chelsea's friendly away in Abu Dhabi against Aston Villa, to which we lost in there, but there was positives in there. Have Chelsea stolen an absolute superstar off the Gooners, Arsenal? Hashtag Eden Hazard regen. Let's not put pressure on him, but he's going to win it all. Of course, there was positives. We didn't win the game. It was largely a training and fitness exercise. We're going to talk about the players that featured, and of course, really disappointing and concerning to see the injury to Armando Broja. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your interactions. They mean a lot here on the channel. Like a click of the like button, you're subscribing, all that jazz. But get the microphones up, because I've got something to say. I think Chelsea stealing Omari Hutchinson from Arsenal could prove to be one of the most exciting and thrilling pieces of business. Okay, put the microphones down. Plus, you get to take the mick out of Arsenal. Arsenal have, I mean, the only thing I like about Arsenal is Bukayo Saka. Of course, England getting eliminated from the World Cup. Je suis très triste with that. Of course, I am half French, as many of you will know, so félicitations pour la France. But I resonate with the English team, so very sad for them to go out. But we're talking about Chelsea. Not World Cup, Chelsea Football Club. Chelsea Football Club played this afternoon. And we lost to Aston Villa to a John McGinn goal in like the 7th minute, I believe. Early doors. Really peculiar defending. Everyone's getting swept over. But we played a 4-2-3-1 formation. I'm going to tell you who played. We're going to talk about player performances. We're going to talk about Broja and his injury and move forwards from there. So there's a lot to crack into. First of all, just in terms of context, we played a very youth-fueled team. And this is the first friendly that we've played, possibly the only friendly that we'll play in this period, whereas Aston Villa had a very strong team, close to their first choice team, certainly very senior, and this will be their third friendly, so they're a little bit ahead in terms of fitness and form, and they had less players at the World Cup, hence having a stronger team. I don't want to make excuses for a game where the result doesn't matter, but I just wanted to add context to the scenario. And in terms of stats, I mean, both teams had 12 shots. 5 of theirs were on target to our 3. We can, raise eyebrows at Aubameyang there, and of course, Broja coming off. We slightly edged possession. We slightly edged passes. Both teams had 90% pass accuracy. There was just that one moment, that John McGinn goal. So we played a 4-2-3-1. It lined up like this. We had Marcus Bettinelli in goal. Of course, Kepa Arrizabalaga, though with the training camp in Abu Dhabi, he's still nursing an injury coming back, so not quite ready. Left back, we played Marc Cucurella, who played pretty well. We had Humphreys and Gilchrist in the centre-back partnership. It was meant to be Trevor Chalobah initially, but I think he must have pulled up with injury in the warm-up or something. Brooking at right back. We had a double pivot of Jorginho and the magnificent Lewis Hall. We had Aubameyang at left wing, who quickly moved up to the striker position for reasons explained in just a moment. Webster sort of in behind, and Omari Hutchinson on the right, who later moved to the left, but kind of also played as a number 10. So Broja played up front, a lone striker, but very soon into the game, he collided with Konza, and it looks like he's done his ACL. Now, this is really bad, because he's a great young player, Broja. We've just signed him into a 6-year deal. We're really hoping he can be this new tenacious, proper number 9. Kai Havertz is a great and talented player, but he's not a proper number 9. And of course, Aubameyang, though a proper number 9, and the two goals he scored for Chelsea were excellent finishes that you'd expect from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. The truth is, this 33-year-old in Aubameyang looks like he is doing what we usually do to Arsenal. He's enjoying his retirement home in London. He's 33. I don't think he's seemingly a great guy. I don't see this bad attitude. They love him at the training pitch, and he's nice and he's friendly with everyone, and I'm sure he's trying, but he's just not it, man. And the more you reflect upon this transfer, both him and Zakaria, I believe, were done on deadline day for Thomas Tuchel, who the ownership was already planning on sacking. So it just looks so dumb. It's like, well, maybe we'll keep Tuchel, we'll just appease him last minute by spending 15 million on Aubameyang. But oh man, oh dude, like it just does not look like the right decision. Of course, we're being linked with the likes of Moukoko, the young Dortmund striker, for a free transfer in the summer. Of course, we're looking at buying Cuckoo, who again isn't like a centre forward. But Aubameyang just doesn't look it. Fortunately, thank the heavens, we've now assembled an Avengers team of recruitment staff, of different people, sporting director, football director, head of recruitment specialist, this whole gang that are hopefully talking about this now in a WhatsApp group, so we can avoid further transfer blunders. And I would include Zakaria and Aubameyang in those transfer blunders in our latest issues. Now, we've got a super strong recruitment team that will work with Graham Potter. We should have joined up thinking to prevent this from happening again. And, you know, I'm not saying Aubameyang won't score goals for Chelsea. It's just right now it's not looking good. He didn't play well in this game at all. And, of course, Broja didn't get a chance to play either. It looks like with his collision with Konza that he's done his ACL. Many of you who will watch the game on YouTube, I think you could only watch it in England, but many of you would have found a way to watch it regardless, hopefully. It was an empty enough stadium to hear the screams of pain from Armando Broja. Bro, you do not want to see that. Both the opposition, Konza himself and Olsen in goal, the Aston Villa players immediately were beckoning quite theatrically for the medical staff to come over and treat Broja. It was really nasty stuff, wailing in pain, just constant, only stopping to breathe in and then start screaming again. Yeah, that's, to me, looks like an ACL and he's out for the season, which will pose new issues for Chelsea. Because now it's like, well, who do you play up front? Kai Havertz, who, like I said, is a talented player and can win headers in the box, but is he wasted as a 9? Is he fulfilling that role as much as it could be fulfilled for a Chelsea football club? I'd say no. And then you go, okay, so what else have we got? Well, we've got Aubameyang, he's a proper striker, but he's looked seriously stinky of late in terms of his performances. So that poses a question for us. Fortunately, the transfer window opens in 3 weeks, and now Chelsea might be looking for another striker. Who knows? Maybe, like many of you will be commenting, like, who should Chelsea get? I think if we were serious about signing Moukoko, maybe try and give them some money for him and sign him in January, because he's probably, he's a young striker like Broja, and it's a sort of similar profile in that sense. Do you know what I mean? Rather than like going out and trying to pry away Ivan Toney from Brentford mid-season for a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? So that is certainly a very tragic and now compelling scenario. What's going to happen with Chelsea and their striker problem. Of course, Jorginho didn't impress me that much. I didn't think it was great. I thought Cucurella was good. I thought Brooking didn't start well, but he got better. Webster's a very quality player, Webster, but I didn't think he necessarily got the chance to demonstrate it that much. I think Ben Elliott coming on played well. I think Mothersill, the striker, came on. He didn't get the ball enough. He made loads of good runs, and when he was on the ball, taking it wide to the byline, cutting in, using his pace, he's been scoring. He's been apparently in really good form for the development squad. He looked great. And of course, someone who I've been really keen to see in the first team is Cesare Casadei, who did come on, had a couple of moments where you sort of recognise this big, tall midfielder profile and think, of course you scored that perfect hat-trick. He scored a 40-yard screamer. He's technical, he's tall, he's strong, he wants to win headers. You think, oh, yes, please. They were joking on commentary about comparing him to Frank Lampard, which is not going to do him any good whatsoever. But yeah, he didn't get a chance to demonstrate it so much in this game, Cesare Casadei, but he was good. Really, really impressive. Of course, Lewis Hall, who started off in the double pivot in midfield. We've seen him play in the first team at left wing back and indeed move to the front three. We've now seen him in the first team play in his sort of preferred role. I think he's maybe more of an 8, but he played in like a double 6 in midfield. He considers himself a midfielder, so he played in midfield. And he ended the game at centre-back. That's right, with him and Cucurella, I thought Cucurella might be the senior guy to move into centre-back. But no, young teenage Lewis Hall played centre-back, which was pretty darn funny. So he's clearly another utility man, which of course these modern day managers like, whether it's Thomas Tuchel or, you know, Graham Potter, they all want players that can move around. Lewis Hall was excellent, but for me, the shining light of this game in a, you know, relatively uninspiring friendly that, you know, was a loss, was Omari Hutchinson. He was the main character, the protagonist in this Chelsea side. And, you know, that's saying something. We've been waiting to see him in the Chelsea first team for a while. He's been in like 3 of the last 5 matchday squads prior to this World Cup break. Finally, we get to see him in the first team starting, and he was probably our best outfield player, you'd have to say. So, you know, I'm saying that because Lewis Hall was good, but, you know, as well. But Omari Hutchinson taking the ball on the half turn, doing like flicks and tricks, and always commanding the ball when no one knows what to do with it. Give it to me. I'll do something with it. Now, it's confident special players that do that. He's clearly a confident lad, Omari Hutchinson. And, you know, we haven't had that in a long, long time. You see it every now and again from Christian Pulisic. Now, I don't want to mention, like, Ziyech, because Ziyech is kind of different because he wants to take the ball and look up. But in terms of someone who wants to take the ball, take it with him and do something special, we haven't had it properly since Eden Hazard. Again, I'm not saying Omari Hutchinson is an Eden Hazard regen. That would do him no favours whatsoever. But in terms of player profile, someone exciting and dynamic, I think Pulisic's a little bit more just direct, that just wants to go straight to goal. But Hutchinson would be like, he'll be a bit more cerebral and less erratic. That's what he looks like, man. He looks graceful, he looks strong, he looks technical, and he looks offensive in the sporting sense of the word. Anyway, man, I think he's very, very exciting, and I'm so pleased we have him. And I'm pleased that he's been in the matchday squad multiple times, and I'm pleased that Potter's had a chance to look at him now and say, look, he's played well, because this is what happens to Lewis Hall. Lewis Hall played in the first team against Man City in another game, and then Potter was like, that's it, you're a first teamer, and he moved him over from the academy and development squad, and now he's in the first team. You sort of felt like that was kind of happening with Omari Hutchinson, though he hadn't featured, but after today, maybe another appearance, one would have to assume Omari Hutchinson will become a Chelsea first teamer. So what do you think, guys? I'll put it out to you. Some of you guys would have watched this game. Those of you who have, I'll be looking forward to reading your comments down in the comment section. For those that haven't, that heard about performances like Hall and Hutchinson, you know, comment on that. Let me know what you think about the Aubameyang situation, and of course, most saliently, let me know what you think about the Armando Broja situation. At time of recording, I don't know the severity of the injury, but it did look like an ACL, and that might make you think, all right, let's hit up the transfer market next month for a striker. Comment down below. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Back with daily uploads regarding Chelsea Football Club, so I look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow. Take care. Peace.